to explain how to use or write a program using a for loop. But before I begin, I just need to explain you why we need a for loop anyway, or any loop for that matter. So for instance, if you take a number and you have a program to write, take a number and then print a table for it. For example, I take a number through this, the line up there, line number 1. And then what I do is I print a table for it. And how would I print a table for it? But very simple. We say, I could do this like this, like a table format. I would say 0. Okay, I could do here x. Then I say 1 is equal to, and then I could just print a table. I could say 1 here. And then I use simple format. And I would say, first 0 would be what? Number, comma, then I say a number times 1 times 1. Now if I have to print this table, and it is going to print just one line, isn't it? If you look at it, look, I say print a table for 5, right? It's going to 5 times 1, 5, and then I have to do 5 times 2, right? And I do this again, and I carry on doing this, like 5 times 2, and I have to change everything there, right? 2 here, I have to multiply number by 2 as well, and that will print 5 times 2. If I say table of 5, 5 times 1, 5, 5 times 2, 10, so on and so forth. If I have to continue doing it 10 times, I'll have to write and print 10 lines there, right, like this, okay? I have to print more lines, and then I have to change their numbers like this, right? It's going to be a headache for me, right, changing it. Why not to find a better solution to this? 10 lines is okay, but how about if I have, let's say, 1,000 lines like this, right? What would that mean? That means like it's going to be a bit of a headache there. So why not to find an easier way to do this, and that is we use a loop for it, right? And how do we use a loop? By simply using a for command, and we say for, okay, and we use the word I, okay, and then we say range, okay, and then we provide a range of I up to what we want that to be printed. I say I need to I have to pass on 3 parameters in range, and I have to say when to start. Okay, I want to start that I from 0 and finish it till 10. So I have to say up to what? 11. I have to put here 11 because I'm going to table of 10, right? I want the table to be printed for 10. So if I say 11, it will finish at 10. Why? Because 11 is where it goes up to. It will not include 11 in it. And then I say how much increment every time to make? Just increment of 1, right? So these 3 parameters are you can either ignore the you can put a 1 parameter as well, and it will start from 0 and increment by 1. If you just say 11, that is fine. But I'm going to explain you that later. You just park that thought somewhere for the time being about what I just said, and let's focus on what I can deliver as a concept. So okay, so what is the thing that we need to change? We need to print here this number, right? So we say number here, but here what we want to do is we're going to multiply it by not 1 but a range, right? So I will say 1 here, and I would say 2 here. So what I would do is here a number, and I will change this 1 comma, I would say I, and number times I. Now I don't have to manually type in those lines anymore. It would just automatically run it for me, starting from 1 going up to 11. So let me use this note taker somewhere here. I'll have to find that one first, and which is always a headache on Mac. Note taker. Here you go. Sometimes it's easy to find it, you know. So I'm gonna use this note taker, okay. And before I use note taker, I just need to get rid of this screen here. Okay. So I'm gonna explain you. This is the for loop body. So this is for keyword. Here you put the variable name, and it could be any variable, A, B, C, X, Y, Z. I choose I because I think I is for index. So that's why I like I as well. That's another reason, right? So, and then you put a range, which is a function that you call in, and you pass on the first parameter where to start, where to end. So when I say end at 11, which means it will not include 11. It will end when it becomes 10, print it and finish it. Because 11, it will not print this line when it is 11. And then how much increment to do? I say 1. Right? Every time you increase the 1. So first time value of I would be 1. Second time 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Because it says 11 here, right? Guys? Yeah? 11 means it will go up to 10. Okay? Because it is up to 11. Right? It does not include 11. Let's start from 1 and increase by 1. So this thing here, we set I here. Do you see here? I. What does this mean? That this number now be printed by this number which you enter here, by the way, by the user. This one. When they enter user the number, you pass it on to this one here. And then you say X, which will be printed as it is. And then you say 1, which is now I. Right? It will print I. So first time when the loop runs, I value would be 1. Second time, 2. Then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So it means it will print 10 lines. And every time this value here will change. So like for example here previously you see 1, 2. You were manually writing it, right? Now it will print, if you enter 5, it will print 5 here times 1, 5. Times 2, it will, and then this result is being calculated by the second one. And what it will do here, it will do number times I. So first time the value of I would be what? When the first time loop runs. What is the value of Y? 1. Okay? And that would first time print 5 times 1 equal to 5 times 1. Yeah? This one. And then second time is 2 and then multiply 5 by 2. Third time the value will be, I will be 3. It will multiply by 3. Up to what? 10. Right? So let's do this. Let's do this and run it and see it. Because you don't have to believe what I say, right? You always have to test your knowledge by doing it. Right? If it is right or not. So let's see. We run it and range and everything given. It's a loop. So let's see what it does. Oh, it says syntax error. So what is the syntax error? Because you missed this colon here. It's important colon, right? Like in if condition in Python, you put a colon always there, right? If you don't put a colon, you get an error. So here you have to put a colon here, and then the rest will be okay, I guess. Oh, no, there's another syntax error. And that is indentation, maybe. An invalid range. Oh, range is invalid. Okay, what is invalid about it, right? For I. In range. Oh, you have to say in as well. The for I in. That's the keyword you have to do. My apologies. You have to do for I in range. I forgot about this little fellow there, right? I got carried away with the explanation, and I completely forgot. And I'll explain that, by the way. This in keyword, you gotta say for I in, and then you say range, and it'll go on the way it's supposed to go on. Now you will never forget to put in, will you? Right? Because we spend quite a amount of time discussing this thing. So let's run this now. Ooh, now indentation error. Indentation. So what is indentation error? Indentation error means this fellow has to be here, tab, right? Now these errors are important for you to learn what not to do. If you don't do this tab, you'll get indentation error always. Right? Now it's okay. Okay? So we say, which table do you want to print this time? Table of what? Give me a number. Don't be quiet. 3. Table of 3. Right? Okay. We say table of 3. Oh, no. What happened there? All right. We got a problem here. Oh, this one here. It's supposed to be this, right? Curly bracket. I didn't put curly bracket. So do this again. No problem. Here you go. Bingo. So you got a table of 3 starting from 1. So you have 1, 3 times 1, 3. 3 times 2, 6. 3 times 3, 9. 3 times 4, 12. All the way up to 30. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some changes there, right? What about I say start from 6. Okay? And go up to 11, which means 10. Here 10. What does that mean? That means the first line of the table will be printed. If we enter 3, for example, it will be 3 times 6, 18. 3 times 7, and up to 10. So it's going to start from 6 because we said so, right? So let's say 3 table again. Oh, see here. Do you see that? Where does it start? Now it starts from 6. Why? Because we said here 6. If you change this number from 6 to something else, for example, what do you want to change it to? Let's say you change it to mean, what shall we do here? 9. We're going to change it to 9. The meme said 9, so 9 it is, right? So here we go. 9, 10, and that's it. Because 11 it will stop, right? It's up to 11. So 9 and 10 only. Here you go. We say, this time we do table of what? What do you want to do, guys? Table of what? Really? Why so lazy? What do you think is lazy? Because Ali's phone. No, I don't want to go through that. It's an internet issue. Because it's lazy because of the internet. Never mind. So here you go. Finally we got it. With 3. Here we go. 9 times 9 and this. So you can start it from anywhere you want, right? You can start it from 1. How about we start it from 1 and we say go up to what? Go up to 9. What it means? 1 to 8. Why? Because it's up to 9. All right. So let's start it again, and this time I'm gonna do table of 2. Right. The table of 2 is gonna be what? Starting from 1 up to 8. Right. Another thing I want to do is, here I don't want the increment to be 1. I want increment to be 2 every time. What does this mean? That means the first time table will be 1 times. Now what happened is increment of 2. What would happen to this table if there's an increment of 2?
1 and 2 times 3.
Yes. Let's see. Exactly. So it's gonna jump 2 times, right? Instead of 1. So first time it will be 1 times 2, 2. But then it will add 2 to 1, and that will become 3. So this line will not be printed. It will print 3. And 3 times 2, 5. It will print this line then. Then 5 times 2. 5 times 2 what? 7. It will print this line. And 7 times 2, 9. It will not print anything after that because 9 is up to 9, right? So let's run this and see if I am right or not, right? Which usually I am, but this time I'm not sure. So we don't have a choice, but we run it, right? We run it and you see. Okay, so table of 3. Now 3 times 1, 3. Then is 3 times 3, 9. Then 3 times 5, 15. Then 3 times 7, 21. And it didn't print 8 and 9 because it's up to 9. Up to 9, right? Now, how about we change this one and we say 4, jump to 4. How about that? A big jump, right? So first time it will be 3 times 1, then 3 times 1 plus 4? 5. Yes. And then 5 plus 4, 9. So it will be only 1 and 5. Do you agree? Table for 3? Yeah. 3 times 1, 3, and 3 times 5, 15, and that's it. Because third time it will be 9, and 9 not supposed to be printed because if you look at the thing, right? If you look at this thing here, this is up to 9, right? Got that one? Okay. We have a question here.
It's good to really understand this part, understand what the concept. Why you give at the end date, what 3 multiply 7, 21, 3 multiply 8, 24, 5.
Oh, you're saying, okay, let's do this again. Let's do this. Okay, let's do a table again. We're going to come back to table, guys, because somebody wants the table to be printed. So table is by incremented by 1, and we're going to table of 10. So we're going to put 11 here. And which table do you want to print? Which?
I chose 3.
3. Table of 3.
Yes.
Yeah? Here we go. So table of 3, 3 times 10, 30. Why? Because we said so. Why? Because this time if you look at here, this one, this is the range, right? What did we say? Start from 1. That's why I started from 1 here. You see here? Okay? And increment by 1 every time. So you see here 2, 3, 4, increment of 1 every time.
At the 11 is something.
And 11 is up to, which means do not include 11.
Oh, okay.
It will never include 11. That's a range. 1 to 11, which means do not include 11. Okay, start from 1 and up to 11. What is up to 11? It means when we become 11, terminate it. Don't print it. Right? That's why it didn't print it. But what I really want you to understand here is, how about, and that's a question to you, dear. If I put here 4, we mean take a jump of 4. What do you think in your view it will print now? Start from 1, go up to 11, and jump take a 4. So what would be the first line that will be printed? If we enter 3 for the table. It'll print this one, right? 3 times 1? 3. But then it will add 4 to the 1. It will become 5. Next line will be printed? not this one, not this one, not this one, this one. 1 plus 4, 5. 3 times 5. So it will say 3 times 1, 3. 3 times 5, 15. And then 5 times 4, 9. And the third time it will be not this one, not this one, not this one. It will print this one. So this line, and this line will be printed. And it will not print this one because after 9 plus 4 is 13. So 13 is above 11, right? It will not print this. So if I run this in your view, it will print only 1, 2, 3 lines. And that will be 3 times 1, 13, 3, 3 times 1, 3, 3 times 5, 15, and 3 times 9, 27. So let's run it and see it, right? Let's run it and see it. Don't take my word for it. I always say. Use your own brain. Here you go. Do you agree with this? Right? Okay, good. Now, I'm going to cheat the program a little bit and test your knowledge, right? Can I have your attention, please, everybody? Here you go. Thank you, thank you. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to do this another way. And this time, use your common sense, which is not very common, by the way, right? Is the common sense very common? I don't think so. So that's why I request common sense. And I make a request for the common sense here. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say here 4, and I'm going to say here randomly, right? 5, right? And I print here I times 2. Now, if whoever can answer this, it means he fully understood the concept of loops, right? So what will it print, what you see on the screen, guys? What it will print? Okay, first time when the loop runs, right? When the loop runs for the first time, and let me clean this, bit of housekeeping. So you can see it, right? So you enter, let's say 3 when it first statement runs. You enter 3. And you say I for range 1 to 4, up to 4, and every time 5 increment. So first time what was the value of I? No, table of 3. 3 is not there. 1. Value of I would be 1 times 2. What it will print? 1 times 2 is what? It will print 2. Then the loop run again and make an increment of 5. So I is what?
6.
I plus 5? 6. So 6 is bigger than 4, right? It will stop there. So it will only print 2 on the screen, nothing else. So what was this 3 then? That was just to misguide you. Because here I didn't use number in any shape and form. I didn't use number here, you see? So it got nothing to do with 3 anymore. What I'm trying to say here is that you need to follow your logic and common sense, right? So let's print it and see it. You don't have to again take my words for what I said. You can always use your brain, use your eyes, run the program and see if it works fine or not. Does it make sense? Right? It does, doesn't it? Say yes. It does. Thank you. That's very reassuring. And also tells me that you are alive. You're not sleeping. Here we go. 3. Well, it's going to print 2. And I told you why.
Because the next one should stop at 4.
Yes. What about I don't do 2? I say I number. Now I do 3. If I print 3 here, I do 3 here. When I enter, I put 3 here now. What would be the output?
9.
It starts from 1, times it by 3, and it's going to be 3.
Yes.
And then I plus 5, 6. So 6 is greater than,
Stops at 3.
so it stops at 3, only print 3. I'm so sorry, Tamim. Your answer is incorrect. I'm afraid I have to, break it out to you. So, but never mind. You can try again. I'm going to give you another chance. There we go. We say what? 3? Oh, 3 is what? 3. Okay. Now, how about I change this one this time? I say 5, and here I say 2, which means make an increment of 2, go up to 5, which means go up to 4. And now, if I enter 3, in your view, if I enter 3 here, in your view, what would be the output? Can you just look at it and tell me, anybody who's not sleeping in the class? So first time it will print what? It will print I times
1.
3, which is, I'm entering 3, isn't it?
3.
So I times 3, it will print what? 3. First time it will print I times 3, I is 1. 1 times I will be 1, first time it will run, and that's 3 because you entered it. It's going to print what?
3.
3. Only 3. And then it makes an increment of 2.
3 times 3.
So 1 plus 2 is what? 3. Yeah? 1 plus 2, 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 3 is not 3. Somebody said 3 times 3 is
9.
9. Yes. 9. Second time it will print 9. And then it goes back in there and add 2 to 3, and that becomes 5. So value of 5 becomes 5. The moment value of 5 becomes 5, that is equal to this. So it will break. It will not do anything. The only thing it will print on the screen is what you see here. Right? You agree to that? Yeah, everybody agree? Anybody can object? It's free to object, please. If you think this is the wrong answer, please just challenge it. Are you whole? Okay, let's try it. Let's try it. No problem. Trying is the only way. Find out. Ooh. Oh, no, it stopped. It's running. Here we go. 9 and 3, bingo. Didn't I say that? What did I say? 9 and 3. And it did. Okay? So with this, we had enough of practice on this. And I think, and I hope you understand the concept now, that there are in the for loop, you use this for keyword, you can put it anything, and then then the range keyword, and then you say where to start, up to what, when to finish. This is the range. 1, 2, 5, do not include 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And then how much to increment? By 2 every time in every iteration. You can put a 1 here if you want, or 2 or 3, and then whatever you say underneath, that will be printed as it is with this. I'm going to stop